oh, this is how realism works. And from that very realization, which I'm about to share with you. Hey guys, so I've been on YouTube for over 15 years. Yes, this channel is more than 15 years old. When my channel was first established and I uploaded my first video, doesn't know what's going on, YouTube was a baby. And over the years, I kind of saw the landscape like grow and change and shift just beneath my feet. There are plenty of times where I just stopped the platform because of burnout. But I always come back, and right now I'm back, and I think I want to start to lean more towards educational videos. Before, I was always making gallery-esque time-lapse videos. And I noticed that most videos that's very successful today, they don't provide the same value that's proportional to the time you spend watching them. Basically, you watch something, right? And then after 2 weeks, does it make any difference in your life? The answer is probably no. So if you do the math, if you add all the time up in the last 5 years you've spent online, how much of that time is really relevant? It didn't really change you, it didn't give you any special knowledge. It doesn't make you super happy that your body is actually healthier. It's just a lot of distraction, right? And imagine one day you're lying on your deathbed and you add all the time together and you realize, because people spend hours and hours a day on social media, and you realize 5 or 10 years of your time is wasted. And it's just the way things are right now. And so I kind of want to come back and start making videos that's more educational focused and talk about how let's start with this video, right? How I got into art, because I graduated business school. It has nothing to do with art. I was never an artist when I was young. I was never in any art program. So near the end of graduation of business school, I bought a Bob Ross kit and I did some Bob Ross paintings. And I thought, oh, this is really kind of fun, because who doesn't have like hobby doodle when you were young? But oil painting, I found out, is just so messy. I remember buying that first Bob Ross kit and made that first painting. It feels like I have to set up like a room, Dexter style. I have to put plastic down everywhere. I have to make sure all the paints and everything are well organized. And everything is still a mess. So that's when I started to look elsewhere online and I discovered charcoal. Well, graphite and then charcoal. And at the time, I can barely draw a stick figure. Just like you, right? I don't know how to draw a straight line. I don't know how to draw a stick figure. I remember at the time there was only one other artist, I think, on YouTube that's making art videos. And he was making a drawing of some kind of light bulb or something like that. And watching that, ironically, gave me a light bulb moment, and I realized, oh, this is how realism works. And from that very realization, which I'm about to share with you, leads me to relatively speaking, very quickly to go from not knowing what the hell I'm doing, not knowing anything about art, it was just a side hobby, to improve enough to the point that art became one of my major source of income for the last decades. I did some work for Hollywood and I licensed a lot of my videos to companies around the world. I would say it was very lucky and I'm very grateful. So now I want to pass some of that information to you. That's why I have this free community with free courses that's not made like regular courses where it's 50 minutes long, and who wants to watch that? My courses are distilled and it's community based. So the first and foremost important thing that I learned about realism is, of course, and I have said this before, but I'll say it again, and I'll keep iterating, because newer artists can always benefit from it. Realism, or should I say to draw realistically, is the first step in understanding how to create art. Once you master it, you can start playing around with styles and other stuff. And color is actually a subset of that. So basically, learn to draw realistically black and white with pencil, and charcoal pencil is especially because it provides the widest tone range. Give you a good foundation that you can use the same principle for color. So it's not the other way around. There's a saying in art, if you can draw, you can paint. Without further ado, and after a lot of failures on my part early on, it was just a lot of frustration early on. It's like, oh, I want to do this and draw that, and why is my work looks nothing like what's in my head or what I'm seeing other artists were able to do. Then I realized, wait a second, the key thing about realism is to separate the idea of symbology, which is concepts. Our minds are dealing with concepts, and then visually what we actually see. That's it. So if I ask somebody to draw a cube, we'll use cube as the simplest example. They will start drawing lines and creating a 3D cube. But the answer is so obvious. You created a concept of a cube. You use lines to describe what it conceptually is like in terms of form in 3D. But we're talking about realistic drawing here. Where do you actually see that line if I were to put such a cube right in front of you? The answer is there would not be such lines. Here's the key part. Any perceived lines or should I say 95% of the times in real life, any perceived lines in realistic art, real life, photographs are really not lines, but the difference between two areas of shapes that have different shades. So if I have a shade 1 and I have a different color, a different value of shade, and I put them together, there's going to be a line in the middle. But that line is formed due to those two shapes put together and the contrast between those two. That's it. You don't just draw a line by itself. So I hope that this is as a light bulb moment for you as it was for me 20 years ago. And I hope you continue to follow this channel, as I am going to break down more and more of these concepts. But for now, if you want to go through some of my videos that I already made, and they're made really simple, check out the link in the description. It's a free community. You just have to make an account, and I do have a paid community. That's where you do workshop with me, but I'm not here to promote that. So think about this, and then next time when you watch something online, when you're scrolling through TikTok or Instagram or YouTube, and you see a beautiful drawing, whether it is in color or whether it is in just black and white, this same concept remains. You draw what you see, not what you think conceptually what something is. This is the heart. The real heart is this really weird blob-like flesh with all these weird shadings and tones and values. Only when you mastered realism and realistic art, now you can potentially start to play around and then start to draw how you feel and then what kind of style you want. But that's after you are very proficient at drawing realistically, which everything I'm going to teach you in this channel. And if you want to go ahead and have an early start, go ahead and check out the link in my description and watch some of the videos there. And any other questions you guys want to ask, let me know, because there is also a business side to art. AI is taking over everything, right? Right now anybody can just generate a million images with one single prompt. But physical, human handmade things on physical paper, it's just going to be increasing in value. It's like the email phenomenon, right? Back when email first came out, it was amazing. I don't know if maybe some of people remember, but what happens nowadays? Nowadays, email means nothing. You see an email from your friend, it's your birthday, your friend maybe they send you a text or an email, wish you happy birthday, it's great. But imagine another friend that sends you a handwritten letter, and an actual handwritten letter says, happy birthday, blah, I'm glad you're friends and we should hang out tomorrow and we'll go here and there, whatever it is. Just a little handwritten note. Guess what? You're going to hang that stuff on the wall. You're going to frame it and hang it on the wall. Same thing is going to be happening to physical handmade crafts and art, sculpture, and so on. So the value in this area is going to increase. And also, studies has already proven that handmade art, especially when we deal with observational art, it actually increases your brain gray matter in the prefrontal cortex and changes the structure of the brain for the better. It literally increases your memory functions, increases your motor control, decreases your brain aging, and it holds Alzheimer's and stuff like that at bay. And this study has been done, and many publications like BBC has documented this. Artists, when they're trained, literally view everything in the world and process them in a very different way. We process more information. We feel more strongly about something. When we look at something, we notice things that other people would just miss, and all these are automatic, so we process more information automatically. It makes your brain better at the structural level, and it's going to be a skill that's going to be in demand if you want to take it to the business side. And it's an impressive skill that's going to be very impressive if you want to talk in the relationship dimension. It's really impressive. Who did that? Oh, it's my hobby. I do some doodling on the side, right? So I hope you guys just stick around, and I will be posting more and more art educational related videos. And don't forget to subscribe and ring the bell. Most of my hundreds of thousands of subscribers, they were before the bell. So I never got any warning. So when one day suddenly the bell comes out, just a quick little video today. And I wish you guys have a great evening, and talk to you later. Subscribe and ring the bell. You don't need to smash anything. Everybody's like smash. I think a click is probably just as good as a smash. And you don't have to buy a new mouse and anything.